Hello, and welcome to Conversations Under the Canopy. My name is Michelle Martin, and I am your host for today's program and have been part of the Canopy team for over 8 years. I work within the customer success management team, providing our clients proactive services and solutions for their teams. I'm also a certified international health coach and support Canopy's health and wellness initiatives, providing resources on topics such as whole body health, mindfulness, sleep hygiene, meditation, and more. This is our third year providing this series. If you're new to Conversations, it's a series of short sessions where we speak with Canopy and industry experts to help us learn about services and valuable insights in the world of employee well-being, performance, and engagement. Our guest today is Anthony Brown, Canopy's own CEO. He has over 20 years of experience in the mental health field. He provides strategic leadership for Canopy and synergistic collaboration with customers, benefit consultants, and industry partners. In this conversation, Anthony and I will discuss the evolution of Canopy services and organizational support to assist with a year of workplace well-being. Welcome, Anthony.
Hey, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
It's been fun talking about getting ready for this program, and I know we're going to jump in with industry and member trends because they're so important. So
Absolutely.
Let's just jump right into the industry. What are you seeing with industry trends?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of trends are happening. I would say if we were to pinpoint one, especially for our industry and the EAP, organizations are still very interested in a full service responsive EAP, that's for sure. But I would say that there's been a little bit of shift away off of the spotlight of mental health in the workplace, mainly because of all the increased costs that we're seeing coming through, either just through inflation or obviously healthcare costs are definitely driving costs for buyers in the workplace for sure. And so what that does is it actually brings a little bit more attention back to those free EAPs that are embedded in other products. And, I would say it's great. You got to have something. I would say at least have something. Unfortunately, a lot of what we're seeing with these free EAPs, feedback that we're getting is that you might save a little now, but you actually pay a lot later. I actually kind of feel bad for some of the folks that really have to administer these programs because these programs are not really meant to be used and they're not very responsive, even in times of crisis. And they're actually getting a lot of complaints to HR and benefit folks. You're hearing a lot of frustrations from employees, which lead to lack of confidence and kind of culture hit for the organization. And then overall, even more health plan costs and increase in the health plan because the EAP is actually not being used. So,
yeah, those multi-year locked-in contracts don't help either.
Well, there's that. There's also exactly.
Yeah. So that's great on the industry side. What are you seeing as far as employee and member trends?
Well, I think anxiety, right? And you're seeing this with your groups. Anxiety is still number one. With marital and financial coming in at like 1A, 1B. But with anxiety, there's just so much for us to be anxious about, right? It's an election year. It was an election year. Sweeping federal changes bring anxiety. Natural disasters. Parents who are taking care of their younger children, who are also taking care of their elderly parents. So that anxiety around that, which leads to financial strain. So there's just really a lot for folks to be anxious about. And, fortunately, they are calling us and they are getting help. Marital and relationship, depression, stress, and family definitely round out kind of the top areas of use that we're seeing. And then also seeing kind of a trend in increase use of the EAP when it comes to substance misuse. There's more people that are actually, reaching out, asking for help, being proactive around that. And kind of that sober curiosity too, like what are some different ways I can look to be healthier in my life? And how can the EAP help with that?
That whole, like you were talking about, that generation that's taking care of their elderly parents and their children, possibly grandchildren. Definitely seen a lot of legal use, which I don't know if I was really paying attention to that in previous years, but wow, there's a lot of people reaching out for legal assistance, possibly around that estate planning for those family members too.
For sure. And, you've probably seen this for some of your groups that legal is the number one actually service use. It's not even the number one It kind of is outpacing clinical services as well. And it's just an everyday kind of product that's there, which is actually why we're trying to redefine EAP. We're looking to redefine EAP into everyday assistance program.
That makes totally sense. I actually love that phrase, and it makes sense that EAP would evolve by approaching that everyday stressors that we have. So what does that evolution actually look like?
Well, you probably heard me talk about this a few times, and I'm sure your groups have mentioned, can we do something about EAP or employee assistance program? So we feel that everyday assistance program just really kind of better reflects our goal of supporting members on a daily basis. We're not just in times of crisis, it's an everyday product that you can use. Also, it's a little bit more proactive in helping members with their concerns before they get worse. I also like the way that it reduces that stigma for what EAP means to some. So I know with other providers and members who have used other EAPs, there is that sense that, oh, EAP, that's the thing that's outdated, or I called them and they said it's going to take 4 weeks, or they didn't have anyone in my area, or I called and no one got back to me. So we're trying to get away from what some of those other EAPs have created and kind of help us create our own definition for that. And it still gives that familiarity of EAP, which people still want, a proactive and responsive program. So everyday assistance, still something new.
Yeah, they want that consistency, that continuity of care that Canopy can provide more so than other EAPs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So as Canopy continues to innovate, what can you tell us about some of the priority services that we have in store for 2025?
Absolutely. So, we're still going to be leveraging one of our greatest assets and strength, which is innovation. And we're still dedicated to our philosophy of that tech with heart. And our main goal is to really try to improve that experience for our members and remove barriers and make it easy to access. And we're also repackaging some of our core services. We're adding a little bit more wraparound services for folks. So, for instance, substance misuse navigation. We've always done a good job of doing a little intake with them and trying to get them connected to services, but we're taking it even a step further. We're really doing kind of a full risk assessment, because a lot of these cases are really dependent on, what level of care that they need, and then finding that right level of care. So we're doing a lot more direct resource connection. We're reaching out on their behalf, help facilitate connection to the organization, and then even more of an in-depth follow-up with these folks. Or did they get successfully connected? Are they happy with the resources? And then just do a satisfaction check-in as well with them. And then for the holistic family support, another wraparound services for families, would, like we were talking about, with young children looking for support for their own parents. It includes kind of a comprehensive adolescent support, senior care navigation, parenting and coaching for folks as well. And then peer support, we're still very excited about that. I know that you've actually had a lot of traction in this and having conversations around peer support. I still like it because it allows members kind of a whole new way for them to connect with the EAP, and it allows members to connect with others nationwide who might be having similar challenges, or maybe that want to provide some support to others with similar challenges, or maybe they just want to go in and look at what we call the wall, and read and learn about how others are kind of facing these challenges as well. So again, just either repackaging or new entrees, to enter the EAP.
Yeah, it's a great benefit for people who aren't quite ready to go there, but they can sort of watch and learn how people are navigating that support from their peer perspective, and then just dive in when they're ready.
Yeah. Yep. And then, of course, we're still very excited about Enlight, where we're launching our new cognitive behavioral therapy tool. Some of you all might know it as Whole Life Directions. And so it's a totally revamped DCBT tool. We still have our own comprehensive wellness assessment that's incorporated in that. Members can go in and set a goal based on those results. There's a whole area of a quick hitting with videos and tools that they can use. I think there might even be a slide around that we have on that. Yeah, there's a little screenshot of what it looks like. So we're excited about it. The thing I really like about it is that it's all together within one location. So previously it was a little clunky. You had to leave the Canopy app and could go to another spot. And so now it's all integrated, really giving members that full service digital experience right there in one app. They can do the Enlight self-directed programs, go online and do the self-scheduling and the provider search. So it's all right there. So it's exciting.
It's such a great evolution to have everything in one place. The barriers are reduced. It's really interesting. I've become very familiar since I've done lots and lots of demos in the last couple.
Oh yeah.
So it is exciting to see these changes and hear about them.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and with that comes new promotion materials and videos that we're excited to share with folks.
Just a lot of changes coming up. And as we continue to innovate, can you maybe give us some good news that we have coming up?
Oh, so the 50th, I assume you're talking about, we're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary as an organization. Started as Cascade Counseling Center, just a small, literally house. In fact, my first job was mowing that lawn. And it's a small house where we were doing counseling, then we moved on to EAP as a small regional EAP, and then developed into Canopy, Wellbeing, nationwide, worldwide. And so it gives us an opportunity to kind of celebrate all those different milestones, reflect on our journey, honor our team members, and celebrate our accomplishments. So
yeah, it's exciting. Exciting.
No, it is.
I've been there for 8 years, and so I've made it through one rebrand and a lot of new employees, new faces, and a lot of changes. I mean, the workplace has changed, so we're right there along with that trend too.
Really, yeah. Our only rebrand and our only change. So just a little bit of information about that. So we have a conference that's coming up on the 24th for those who are interested in that. That'll be virtual. And we have Dr. Leslie Hammer that's going to be presenting on evidence-based workplace strategies. And then our own Anna Miners will be presenting. And then our own Nicholas Kessler will be presenting as well. He's a dynamic, entertaining speaker. And then an in-person happy hour to follow with that. And then in the fall, we're going to have an open house. We'll invite partners, past employees, providers, and of course our own employees and anyone who wants to come as part of the Canopy family.
And people can register now. If they go onto canopywell.com and go to our events page, they can register now, which is exciting.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, it's been great having this conversation with you. And I know there's just so much we could talk about. I thank you so much for being part of, I know we do this every year because I think it's so important to let everybody know what's coming up. And this year feels pretty phenomenal with all the new things to share. So thanks for sharing.
It's exciting. Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, and our next one is March 20, and we're going to talk about a very popular benefit that seems to be very well used, and that's just a benefit that helps people with their financial health and well-being. So super important to be talking about that. We'll have more information and a formal invitation to join. But until next time, we thank everybody for your time, and we hope to see you in a future event soon.